What's going on, y'all? Another random topic video. And this is gonna be another series, my middle school stories. Basically going all through all my life, telling y'all the different stories that I still remember from growing up. Yeah, so I actually went to two different middle schools, Nathaniel Green and Bishop McVinney. And I literally spent half the time at each one. Spent a year and a half at Nathaniel Green, the other year and a half at Bishop McVinney. So Nathaniel Green from 6th halfway through 7th, and then Bishop McVinney halfway through 7th, and then 8th grade. And so let's start off with Nathaniel Green. Nathaniel Green literally was right down the hill from my house. So when I got out of elementary school, I graduated like 5th grade. It was the obvious place for me, right in my neighborhood. Immediately I liked that school because it had a lot of pretty girls. Yeah, I remember my two first crushes. One girl's name was Felicia. She was like mulatto with like blue green eyes. Bad as fuck. And this other girl's name was Jenny Lee. I mean, fat ass. Ass is crazy. And this is back in middle school, so you could, what I'm saying? Shit was crazy. I don't want to sound crazy, but her ass was crazy. And I remember I liked them so much, I wrote their names on like my baseballs that I had. Used to toss the baseball around with friends from time to time. My dumb ass, I write their name on these baseballs. And then one day my friend just out of the blue just shows up to my house. So we're playing baseball, and then he ends up looking at the baseball, and he sees their names, and he immediately starts teasing me like, you like them and this and that. And I'm just like, like what the fuck was I thinking? Like, and then I'm tossing the baseball around with this motherfucker, and he immediately was like, I'm telling him to watch. And I didn't think he was serious. I'm like, I mean, what kind of bitch move is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna tell the girls that I wrote their names on the baseball? Like who does shit like that? Like, even if I got a crush on them, so what? Like, it ain't your job to be telling them that shit. Like, fuck wrong with this nigga? He actually ended up telling them. I'm asking. I think it was my sister. I asked. I think she had like a class with him. He really had told her. And first she was just like, "Who's that?" Like, she didn't know who I was. And I don't know if she ever. I mean, she never like came up to me. Neither one of them came up to me and said anything. But I think the girl Felicia, she was just like, I don't even know who that is. He might have pointed me out. I don't know, but not to my knowledge. So that's the girl Felicia. And then I remember there was this middle school dance. We had this middle school dance, and my boy Hank, he lived in the area too. He kind of came by to see if I was going. Like, oh, you going to this dance? I was like, I don't know what the hell was wrong with me at that time. I just avoided all social interaction for whatever reason. I was like, man, I ain't going to that shit, man. I ain't going to no fucking school dance. That shit probably whack as hell. So then my other boy who lived next door to me, this nigga Kendall, he's just like, fuck it, I'll go with you. So him and Hank end up going to the dance. I think I actually gave him my school ID so he could get in. So this motherfucker goes to the dance, and then he tells the girl Jenny Lee, he's like, oh, you know Kai? She goes, yeah. He's like, well, he said he blazed you. Mind you, it's like 6th grade. Niggas are like 11 years old. Like, how you gonna say some shit like that, bro? And she goes, oh, word? Well, tell him when I see him, I'm gonna blaze him. Now, before you get all, oh, shit. She didn't mean it in a good way. Back in those days, girls would get a kick out of kicking niggas in their nuts. And this girl used to rock like Timberlands every day. So when she said she gonna blaze me, she meant she gonna blaze me. Like, she gonna fuck me up. I'm gonna kick this nigga right in his nuts for lying, acting like he did something to me. And these motherfuckers came back and they're laughing about it. And I'm like, he told me that. First Kendall told me, and I was like, man, he's lying. He didn't talk to her. So I'm asking Hank, like, yo, Hank, he said that? And this motherfucker was just laughing like, yeah, he said that, man. And I'm just like, oh my God. This girl was known for kicking niggas in their nuts. Like, nigga, when I'm telling you that I literally walked around that school for months, peeking around the corners, making sure I didn't see, like, I was not trying to get kicked in the nuts, my nigga, like, for real. I literally tiptoed around that school for months until one day I seen her and she literally just walked past me. I don't think she knew who the fuck I was, like, honestly. And so the funny thing is, I think they was just fucking with me. They just came back like, oh, we're going to tell them this. And, my dumb ass believed it. And I'm fucking acting like a secret agent walking around the school trying not to be seen by this girl who, clearly had no idea who the fuck I was. That's just hilarious when I think about it. Like, I really was worried. Like, I'm not trying to get kicked in the nuts at all. With Tim's, nah, I'm cool. I probably look crazy as hell, too, just walking around, peeking around corners and shit. Like, motherfuckers probably thought I was tapped like a motherfucker. Another thing that happened in my 6th grade year is, this is the year I first got introduced to the Harry Potter series. My teacher just read it to us in class one day. She just decided, oh, I want to read you some of this book. Man, that shit caught my attention immediately from like the first page. I was like, yo, I need that book. I'm hooked. And she read it to us. I think she read us like the first chapter of it. You know, we was having like a book sale. You know the book sales that they used to have where they used to come by and give like and have like book sales. I don't know who used to run that shit, but they would come through, set up the books all in the hallway, and you could go by and buy whatever book you wanted. That was the days, man. Like, they definitely didn't do that in high school. You know, middle school probably the last time I seen it. But, you know, I asked my mom to get some money for the book sale, and, you know, she gave it to me. And I went and I bought that Harry Potter book. And I absolutely devoured that book. Like, it couldn't have took me longer than a week to read that whole thing. You know, probably over 300 pages. And I just ate right through it. Like, I did a little bit of research. No, matter of fact, at the end of the book, once I was finished reading it, it promoted the other two books, the second year and the third year, that Harry Potter's at Hogwarts. So I read like all these, you know, so I'm like, I gotta find these other books. Now, I went to the book sale was there for the whole week. So that's how fast I read this book. So now I'm looking through all throughout the book sale, and I couldn't find them. I'm like, damn, what the hell is that? So then I came up with another idea. Like, yo, let me go to the library, you know, the school library. And I went in there and I found them both. I found the Chamber of Secrets, and I found The Prisoner of Azkaban, I think, is the third book, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I stole both of them shit from the library. Like, I didn't give a damn. I stole both of them joints and and devoured the two of them. Probably read them all that same month. Like it was crazy. Like, I loved those books, and I literally was hooked on it. And I needed to. I was waiting for like the fourth one, probably for like, you know, I think the Prisoner of Azkaban had been released around sometime that year, and so I probably had to wait like a year or two for like the Goblet of Fire. Man, like that. I don't remember my sixth grade teacher's name, but shout out to her, man, because that is my all-time favorite book series. Like, I was one of them kids that was hooked on that shit. Like, I wasn't one of these dudes that went to like I don't know, they would have these like events where people would dress up like I wasn't doing all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in the hood, and, you know, that kind of shit wasn't cool, you know, to be all outward with it. But to take the book and sneak in my house and read it real quick, you know what I'm saying, when my friends ain't watching, I was all about that. And yeah, from that point on, I was hooked. I ended up reading all 7 books out the series, and I try to see what J.K. Rowling has to offer. I've read more of her books than any other writer ever. So, you know, all started with just my teacher just reading us this book. Like, just she didn't even read the entire book. She just wanted to introduce it to us. I was hooked since then. So, you know, salute to my teacher, man. Yeah, so this concludes part 1. Check out the next video, Middle School Stories, part deuce. Holla at your book. Peace.